Imagine this. The most expensive car in your city is sitting inside the garage of someone whose business you see almost every single day, but you've never really noticed it. And here's the most shocking part. In 2026, many of the people who will become millionaires won't do it through AI startups or crypto. They'll make their money from boring businesses the world has completely forgotten. Every generation makes the same mistake. When everyone runs in one direction, the real money is usually lying on the opposite path. Today, everyone is chasing AI tools, YouTube automation, dropshipping, and trading. Social media convinces you that only flashy businesses can change your life. But history tells a completely different story. The most sustainable fortunes were built by people who solved boring problems. And here's the interesting part. The changing global economy in 2026 is bringing these forgotten businesses back to life. You probably don't believe it yet, but by the end of this video, you'll realize that some of the biggest opportunities have been sitting right around you all along, hidden inside the businesses everyone else ignores. Now imagine this. What if you could choose a business with very little competition, growing demand every year, and customers who naturally keep coming back? It sounds like a fantasy, but it isn't. This is the exact pattern that repeats itself after every major economic shift. The real secret: money isn't made by following trends. It's made by recognizing demand that everyone else fails to notice. The first forgotten business is storage. Most people only think about giant warehouses, but the reality is that every year people buy more things while homes continue getting smaller. The result? Self-storage, document storage, and business inventory storage are quietly experiencing explosive demand. It's not a glamorous business, but it's a machine that generates recurring monthly income. And this is where the first twist appears. When the economy becomes uncertain, people buy fewer things. But they don't throw away what they already own. They store it instead. Economic fear itself becomes fuel for this business. Now imagine the second business: mobile phone repair and electronics refurbishment. Everyone talks about buying the newest phones, but inflation has pushed people back toward repairing instead of replacing. A cracked screen, a battery replacement, a refurbished laptop, small transactions, high profit margins, repeat customers. But here's what nobody tells you. The most profitable repair shop isn't the one that fixes everything. It's the one that becomes an expert in one specific category. Specialists can always charge premium prices. Now let's look at another industry people ignore simply because it seems boring: commercial cleaning. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when office buildings are completely empty, some companies are quietly making millions. Hospitals, schools, warehouses, factories. Every one of them needs daily cleaning. And once these clients sign a contract, many continue renewing it for years. This isn't a business built on greed. It's built on consistency. But now the real game begins. Imagine a city where almost every building has CCTV cameras installed. But who installs them? Who maintains them? Who upgrades them? That's the security installation business. The more crime people fear, the more security they demand. And today it's no longer just about cameras. Smart locks, biometric systems, and home automation have become part of the same growing industry. What happened next changed everything. As AI continues to rise, everyone talks about cybersecurity. But physical security is growing just as fast. And this market suffers from one major problem. There simply aren't enough skilled professionals. Now you're probably wondering, are only technical businesses profitable? Absolutely not. Take the pet care industry. People may cut back on their own lifestyle, but they rarely reduce spending on their pets. Grooming, boarding, pet transportation, healthy food, training. This is emotional spending. And emotional spending often remains surprisingly stable even during recessions. Human beings spend more money on emotions than on logic. Now let's move toward another forgotten opportunity: water purification. Today, clean drinking water isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. Water filter installation, maintenance, and commercial purification systems continue growing every year. Everyone buys bottled water, but very few people ever notice the businesses operating behind those bottles. And here's the interesting part. The larger the population becomes, the more permanent this demand becomes. But now let's talk about an industry that's almost invisible: waste management. The name sounds boring, but garbage collection, recycling, and industrial waste handling are among the most stable cash flow businesses in the world. Every single day, waste is created. Every single day, someone has to remove it. That's exactly why experienced investors often prefer boring industries over glamorous startups. Now imagine a small company that does nothing except restore old furniture. Most people think buying new furniture is always the better option. But the premium furniture restoration market continues growing because of luxury customers. An old wooden table can be transformed into a luxury piece worth thousands of dollars. This isn't just craftsmanship. It's a game of perceived value. Now here's another twist. Secondhand luxury authentication. The flood of counterfeit products has dramatically increased. Demand for experts who can verify authentic luxury goods. Watches, handbags, sneakers. Trust itself has become a business. But the next business is one very few people ever talk about: senior care services. The world's population is aging rapidly. Elderly assistance, home health care coordination, and daily support services are expected to experience explosive demand over the next few years. This isn't just a business. It's one of the rare combinations of humanity and profit. And whenever a business combines emotional need with recurring demand, wealth is quietly created. Now think about this. Every online seller needs packaging, custom packaging. Every package ships inside a box. Every brand wants packaging that feels unique. And as e-commerce continues growing, this hidden industry becomes even more valuable. But have you noticed a pattern? None of the businesses we've discussed so far need to go viral. They simply need to solve real customer problems. That's the difference between the rich mindset and the average mindset. The average person asks, "What are people watching?" The wealthy person asks, "What problem are people waking up with and going to bed with?" Now here's another opportunity: solar panel maintenance. Everyone talks about installing solar panels. But what about maintenance? Cleaning? Inspection? Repairs? That's the hidden engine of recurring revenue that very few people are targeting. And as the world continues shifting toward renewable energy, maintenance companies may eventually earn even more stable income than installation companies. But here's what nobody tells you. The biggest money isn't made by being the first mover. It's made by being the most reliable. Here's another industry: industrial equipment rental. Not every business can afford to buy expensive machinery, so they rent it instead. Construction tools, generators, lifts, compressors. Buy the asset once, and it keeps generating income again and again. This is the concept wealthy people understand better than almost anyone else. Don't generate income with your labor. Generate income with assets. And finally, perhaps the most forgotten business isn't a specific industry at all. It's combining boring businesses with modern technology. An ordinary laundry business can become extraordinary through online booking. A local repair shop can become a recurring revenue machine through subscriptions. A cleaning company can outperform its competitors simply by using AI scheduling. The future doesn't belong to the newest businesses. The future belongs to businesses that solve old problems in new ways. The future doesn't belong to the newest businesses. It belongs to businesses that solve old problems in new ways. If you spend your life chasing trends, you'll always end up trapped in competition. But the day you learn how to recognize overlooked opportunities, that's the day your financial future truly begins to change. Remember this. Every billionaire became wealthy by turning an ordinary problem into a profitable system. The real question isn't, what will be the next big business in 2026? The real question is, will you recognize the opportunity while everyone else is still ignoring it? Because wealth is rarely found where all the noise is. Wealth is usually waiting for you in complete silence. And maybe you've been walking right past that silence every single day. The biggest opportunities are not far away. They are hidden in plain sight, inside the most ignored businesses around you. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. The moment you understand this shift, your entire way of seeing the world changes. You stop looking at jobs and start seeing systems everywhere. Because every small business around you is actually a system, it just hasn't been optimized yet. And optimization is where real value gets created, not by inventing something new, but by improving what already exists. Think about it. Even the most boring business becomes powerful when systems replace chaos. This is why boring industries are so dangerous, not for failure, but for competitors who underestimate them. While everyone is distracted by flashy ideas, boring businesses quietly build unstoppable cash flow. And cash flow is what actually builds long-term wealth. Not attention, not hype, not viral success. The truth is simple. Most people will ignore these opportunities because they don't look exciting enough. But opportunity was never meant to look exciting. It was meant to look obvious only in hindsight. And that's exactly why the smartest people don't chase hype. They build quietly in places no one is watching.